What is going on, family members? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's finally here, Super Week. Part of the Off the Ball Network. Welcome to Cruise Island. It is an honor to start off the official Off the Ball Network Super Week. I think I got a great show lined up for you guys today. We're talking best and worst of Super Bowl logos and Super Bowl rings. Gone through. We're on Super Bowl 57. It is right now, and so we have a good amount of logos we've had throughout the years, and along with that, also with some dope rings and some not so dope rings that we've seen some Super Bowl champions get over the last 57 years. I might have a couple guests on with me later on today, Bob, but right now, solo dolo. Back to my roots, how it started, and I'm excited. I'm excited to kick off this week with you guys. Of course, we got Kansas City and Philly a week from today. Oh, in exactly 1 week and 3 hours, 4 hours from right now. Super Bowl 57. It's kind of a bittersweet time for a lot of people, myself included. The Super Bowl is one of the most exciting times of the year, one of the most watched sporting events, obviously behind the World Cup. But it also means the end of football until August, like games wise. We'll have free agency. We'll have a lot of stuff that and the draft that this network is going to be covering over the next several months. But really, just it's a little somber. But with that being said, let's get back into it. I'll run a little intro real quick, and we'll start diving into these logos. So, like I said, we have we're going into Super Bowl 57. This is the 57th year of logos, of Super Bowl logos mainly. And we are going to, and I'm going to give you my best and worst. I'm going to start with the worst Super Bowl logos. Um, to me, of all time, and I'm being being very generous right now because of the fact that up until actually I'll get into it in a minute. So, I'm not even gonna waste any more time. To me, the worst Super Bowl logo of all time is Super Bowl 25. It is very eh. It looks like a home plate. It's very letters are regular. There's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing really like, oh, this logo stands out to me. I'm going to remember this logo for years to come. It's not like that. And for me, when I was looking back at them, this one just didn't do much for me, and I'm excluding the first, like, maybe 10 years of logos because the first I mean, obviously, the first one is very I'm gonna bring them up for you guys right now. The very first one that's not the page I wanted. But if you look at first world championship game, AFL versus NFL, like, I'm not holding too much weight in those ones only because it's the first one, they didn't have much to go off of. When you look at just the rest around them, the rest around Super Bowl 25, even the one the very following year, I think this is a great logo. 26 was a very, very good logo. I think it was a great logo. 25 has a lot of stuff going on with it. Super Bowl 27, great logo. Even going all the way up until 39. To do with Super Bowl 25 what they did, so plain, so boring. I even think 22 and 23 are significantly better. And a lot has to do with the whole baseball plate looking aspect of it. I just don't like it. I just don't. To me, that is the worst logo of all time. Also, honorable mentions has to go to everything after Super Bowl 39 because let's take a look at them. Up until 39, right here. Great logo. 38. 38 was a great logo. I like 38. That was the Patriots and Panthers game in Houston. They did good with the Houston. You can tell it's a Houston themed logo without it being a Houston centric logo, if that makes sense. You have, see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Nope, not going to let me. But you can see around it how it has sort of the, not going to let me do it on here either. How it has some of the, kind of like a rocket going around it. So very Houston thing. Obviously, Houston has NASA. So that's the thought process behind that. That's a great logo. 37, the one in San Diego. That was Tampa and Oakland. Terrible game, but a great logo. You got the water, obviously, where I live right now. San Diego is a huge coastal. Like, people come down here for the beach. It's one of the greatest attractions other than the weather. Um, and then so that was 37, 36. You had the red, white, and blue theme. That was obviously the Super Bowl after 9/11. So they're gonna that's a decent logo. Everything after 39 though, XL. I get it what they wanted to do, the Super Bowl 40 XL, extra large, make it the big letters, which cool. Red and blue, boring. XLI, and they stayed with the theme of the XL. It's okay. This one, I don't like the color combination very much of Super Bowl 42. Um, let me see. I'm this one super plain. Oh, let's go. Got the Prez on with us. What's going on, Prez?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Thank you for joining.
No doubt. I wanted to see, what was your list of all the, the rings and all that, and the logos and all that. So I'm just tapped in, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Just going over Super Bowl 25. I think all things considered, because I really didn't take into the first 10 years and really the last 15 years
Mm-hmm.
of logos. Super Bowl 25, completely boring, completely plain, especially when you consider what's all around it. When you're looking at, you have 26, 27 after it, 24, 23, 22 behind it. Even Super Bowl 21 is a dope logo. I really like 21 a lot. Just that being in the middle of having everything around it so plain. It has a baseball plate kind of shape that I didn't like. Very boring letters to me with everything that was going on around it. And at that time, again, not considering anything after Super Bowl 39, worst logo to me of all time.
40. Well, you said 21 or 22? You said
25.
25. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I like 26. I like that it's big and bold and all that. Um, 26 is solid, but 25, yeah, it looks good. I see, like, it's very. What Super Bowl was that? Was that the Cowboys and
I think
the
that was Cowboys and Bills.
Cowboys Bills, right?
I think.
Um, it was Super Bowl 25. But yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's. I'm not a big fan of the logo, how they do the logos. Period. It differs overall. How do you feel overall about how they? I feel like they could do. It could be more creative. It feels like it's just like a Super Bowl, the Super Bowl trophy, and that's it.
Exactly. That's why if my honorable mentions is everything after Super Bowl 39 because
Yeah,
they got very simple, very simplistic, especially after 44. Once they hit 45, it was the same for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They
yeah.
did the Super Bowl
It's the Super
50.
Bowl. Yeah, it's just the Super Bowl trophy, and then they just put the Roman numerals underneath it. It's like they got lazy.
They
At least
got
they're
very
trying to be creative in like the early, in like the Super Bowls in the 20s and all. Like even they try to be creative with like different you know
yeah,
symbols and all that, but like they just like once they got the Super Bowl 50, it was like, or was it 48? What they just like,
40.
all right, that's it. We're just gonna put a Super Bowl trophy and call it a night. Yeah, Super Bowl 40. see, it's 50, they did it, 49, 48, 47. So 45, right? Is when they just put the Super Bowl trophy on it,
Yep.
the Lombardi trophy. And
That
this is
was the one in Dallas. Steelers and the Steelers and Packers. Aaron Rodgers won an only championship.
okay, yes, that's 09, right? Oh, to 2010?
Yep.
2010 Super Bowl, technically, yeah. But yeah, they just got plain and boring after that. So your first, you doing 5 down, 5 to your number 1. So yeah, Super Bowl 25. Okay. Let's see who
and
you
then
got.
going on to, let me take this off real quick. Going on to, I didn't really do a countdown for the worst logos only because I encompass really from 45 on.
Yeah,
That's
I got you.
Damn near 10 logos in and of itself. Best ones, I really just had one, just because of this one, again, it stood out to me so much, and I just love everything about it, and I even kind of mentioned it. Super Bowl 27. I think they did a nice job with the colors complementing. I like the font of the Roman numerals. You have the rose because it was in Pasadena. On the Rose Bowl. That's where it was at. I think overall, especially again considering the fact that if you look back at what was around it, the next year was in the Orange Bowl, which was okay. 21, it was tough between 27 and 21. I like, again, the rose, the not really traditional drawing, but I think with 27, just it all came together very nicely. I like the way they did the rose. Again, I like the color complementation to everything. I think this was a very well done Super Bowl logo. I wish we could go back to stuff like this, but again, the NFL truly, honestly doesn't care. People are going to watch the Super Bowl regardless, and really, I can't think of any other show or network or anything that really has looked at Super Bowl logos and how good they used to be. So nobody really talks about the logos.
No, and that's why when we were doing like show topics, I was like, I don't really remember seeing like anyone cover like what's the best logos. We hear about like the best plays and the best players and the best team to never win and halftime shows, but we never hear about the logos and all that. And I was like, that's a good one. And then I had to be, and I went like to see, okay, let me look at the logos quick. And I'm like, yeah, they got to a point where they just stopped caring about the logo and just put, let's just slap the Super Bowl trophy and just put the Roman numeral, whatever Super Bowl it is, and call it a day, because the creative just went away. Because at least they tried, and some of them may not be good, but at least they tried to like, to make it look different. And but they definitely stopped.
Because even with 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49, they still put, even 50, they put the stadium or the city behind it. Super Bowl 50 was in Levi Stadium, so you have, that was their first year in existence, the stadium anyways. So you had that behind it, and then 51 is literally just the trophy, the Roman numerals. They changed the color because where was Super Bowl 51? I don't even remember where that one was at.
51 was Super Bowl 51. Let me see. 51. That was the year. That was after, right? Super Bowl 50 was Broncos Panthers, right?
51. Yeah, 51 was 28-3.
51 was 28-3. So that was, what was 52? Let's see. Super Bowl 52 was located at.
Super Bowl 52 was in.
It was in Minnesota. It was in Minnesota, and that was that was Eagles.
Eagles and Patriots.
Eagles Patriots. That was the Philly special.
Yep. I don't remember where 51 was at.
And Super Bowl 51 was located. That was a
dome.
In
Houston.
Yeah, I remember it being a dome. So yeah, that makes sense.
Houston 53.
51 is the comeback.
Yeah, 28-3.
Oh, 23. Yeah. I thought you said something else. Yeah, I remember that being a dome. So yeah, that was in Houston, and 50 was in a dome too, right? 50.
No, 50 was Levi Stadium in San Francisco.
Okay. Oh, right. Because it was a warm stadium. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then you had 52 was in Minneapolis. That was U.S. Bank Field. Their first year it was open.
49 was Seahawks.
That was in Phoenix.
That was in Phoenix. Yeah. Phoenix. They had some good Super Bowls. Some pretty memorable Super Bowls.
53 was in Georgia, Mercedes-Benz Dome,
Georgia
or
Dome.
Mercedes-Benz Superdome Stadium. I mean,
Yeah, that was a boring Super Bowl.
yeah, that was the 10-3,
like 13-3. I think there was like one touchdown. It was like a rushing touchdown, I think, in that game. It was very bland.
and then 54 was Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Chiefs and Niners, and then last year, or 55 was Tampa and
Tampa. Yeah, Tampa was right. The last 2 years was last year was in LA because the
yep.
Rams were in it, and they had that's the first time that the last 2 years there were never teams that played in their home city or whatever home stadium and playing the Super Bowl, and then of course the last 2 years we got that Tampa was 2 years ago, and then LA was last year. But like you said, like with the logos, like yeah, they just got boring and all that, not creative.
They did a little bit with 56. They added a little bit of color to the letters, not just the Super Bowl. And then this year's pretty solid. I did like.
Yeah, because I think I saw an article with I think Bleacher Report. They customized how they would have done the logos and all that.
Oh, I just had that up too,
and
they were pretty dope logos.
I was like, it's definitely it makes it feel like they implemented the town wherever they were and all that, and I like the one they did for last year. They did one. I'm looking at it right now. They did one for SoFi in California. And I actually like that because it has the lights, pertaining to LA and all that. And even on there, I don't think they're in LA, right? I don't know where Inglewood is. I don't know California.
Inglewood is LA.
Is LA? All right, so that makes sense. So they have the flashing lights and all that, and the background. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then they had what was the Raymond James? They did that one. That one's all right. The Miami one's cool because it has the Miami Vice type of logo, like that. You know how they have that teal and red and all that, and the palm trees in the back. That one was cool. Mercedes-Benz one's pretty cool. So they had some pretty cool concepts that they would have done to change it up.
Yeah, that is the Miami one you were talking about. I do like this one a lot.
Yeah, that one's cool. I mean, anytime you do anything Miami it's got to kind of be like the Vice City type. The
Miami Vice, yep.
Yeah, you kind of have to have it like that. Or even if they done Miami Heat colors, like that type of, make it like a Heat related theme.
Yeah,
you could do it, but
I mean, it baffles me because you cannot tell me that the NFL does not have money to hire a marketing agency to come up with a logo. A news outlet, Bleacher Report, has somebody who designed this.
Yeah.
You're telling me the NFL, $1 billion company, tax-free, cannot afford to go out and look at the difference between the official NFL logo, which literally just Roman numerals, and the Super Bowl trophy, and then some dude at Bleacher Report came up with.
I think Super Bowl 31 or 31, I think. Well, I think it was in New Orleans. They even they made it New Orleans theme, with the background, with the I guess the clown stuff, and all that, and all that. So they made it, around the city and all that. But
yeah,
and, the one where you mentioned with the first one after 9/11, they made the American flag and on it. So it's patriotic and on obviously the Patriots are in it, but other than that, it's centered around okay, this is the first big thing, one of the first big things after 9/11 and all that, and we're sending around the country and all that.
Right. Even 38.
I like Super Bowl, was it 30? Super Bowl 39. Was that 39?
This one's 39 right here.
Yeah, that one was cool. The one in Jacksonville, I like it because it just centered around like, but then it just seems like they got after that. It was like, all right, we'll just make it basic because I get maybe they just don't think people care enough, so they just like whatever. Nobody cares about the logo. Nobody's gonna really be like, oh man, that logo sucks. I'm not gonna watch the game.
Right.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's just me thinking like that, but like little things like that, I'd be like, no, let's get more creative.
Right.
You have the people.
Definitely have the people. And if you don't have the people, you have the money.
Exactly.
That is for damn sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we're gonna hit worst Super Bowl rings. We'll do the worst, and I only have two because again, with the beginning of the years,
yeah, they're playing. Yeah,
they're so basic. Couldn't really do much. So, and again, there's only two. First one is the Rams. This is the one they beat the Patriots in. It's their first one. It's not terrible. Also, considering the fact it was in 2002, you can see the Rams in it. They have the football around it, but all the diamonds take away. I think it takes too much away from the team name, and it's hard to see. Wasn't a huge fan of this one. Again, they tried. I get it was in 2000, but then the worst one. And then there's no justification. There's no defending this one. Immediately, I was going through all the logos and was like, oh, this one's good. This one's good. This one's okay. Going through the rings, like, oh, these are really good rings, and some of these are. But this one has got to be the worst ring of all time. Now, when we talk about
that's 2002 bucks, right?
Literally right after the Rams, or 2 years after the Rams. I'm sorry. This is when the Rams beat the Titans. 2 years later, Tampa Bay wins the Super Bowl, and this is what they come up with. This looks like something that was made in Super Bowl 5.
Yeah, that looks like the first, like if that was like the first ever Super Bowl ring.
Right. And just the fact that this is what they came up with in 2003. If
you look at the Patriots from the previous one, it has the Patriots logo in the middle, right?
Yep.
And then you have all the diamonds. Because if it didn't have like the Patriots logo, it would probably be up there too. But like, there's not even a logo like to symbolize. Like, it just says Tampa Bay Buccaneers World Champion Super Lombardi Trophy, and that's it. It's like a little bit of a copy of the Patriots one, just less gaudy. Just not gaudy, but just less nice.
Yeah, and it's plain basic. Literally just the one. There's no, at least the Rams. It has, they implemented their name, their logo at the time.
I think you have to wouldn't you want your team logo on the ring? Like, right. You're the team, because like you meant, the Patriots the year before have their logo, right? The Ravens have their logo on 2000. The Rams have the Rams. At least they have the Rams across theirs. The Broncos one has the two Broncos to symbolize two championships. That's pretty cool. I like that one. It's an underrated one. Like, I think, yeah, Packers have one. The Cowboys have their logo. I'm trying to see if there's a team that doesn't have it. Like, the 49ers just showed all their rings on there, which is, I understand that one. But like, the Cowboys did there. But like, the Cowboys had like, yeah, I don't get why they don't even have their logo. Like, even like when the Redskins won one, like they have like the tail or something. That one looks pretty cool.
That one is one of my favorite ones, even bias aside of that being
my favorite team. I like that one. That one's pretty cool. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. It looks like a little tail, but like it has like,
it's the feathers.
The feathers. Okay, so that one's pretty cool because that one I like. That's a good one. But like you just said, Tampa Bay's is just like, all right, we got the Super Bowl trophy, and it's like, who's the most uncreative person on the staff?
Right.
Yeah. Give us the most uncreative thing. How about just put a Super Bowl trophy in? All right, that's it for our first Super Bowl championship. We're gonna make it as bland as possible. Listen,
they literally let Brad Johnson's child design
And yeah, like that team was a special team too. So like, yeah, no, that one definitely like that's got to
So
be.
this is again Tampa Bay's, and the year before, like we were talking about, has the logo. They have the sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
They have the rubies, the diamond. They have this is what a first Super Bowl ring should look like.
Yeah, I
thousand
like the
percent.
Colts too. The Colts one, like they have the symbol, like, and they got the Super Bowl trophy right in the middle. Like that
Yep.
one's like, yeah, we are the Super Bowl champ. Like if you were just to show someone the Tampa Bay one, they would have to actually look and be like, what kind of
Right.
ring is that? Where like the Colts one, you're like, oh, y'all Super Bowl champions. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
with that. You know, like show like your logo, like yes, your team. You know.
And in 2003, like that's the crazy thing because this looks like a ring that should be grouped with these down here, and even these have
I'll take
more.
The Jets one for a ring in the 60s, 70s. Like, I'll take that one. Like
Right.
that looks a lot better.
Got some color. Same with the Packers, has a little bit of color in it.
Yeah, it shows their colors a little bit. Like, yeah, I don't get why they were so bland on that one. That one's pretty underwhelming for like a modern day Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Because like
For a
some of the
ring.
ones early on are like way better, like way better. Like the Raiders one from what Super Bowl 11, that one for like that time is pretty cool. Like at least do it like that if you're gonna do it like kind
Right.
of clean, but like you expect that from that time,
Yeah.
not something from
And
2000.
there's the Washington one you were referring to again, one of my favorites, more so not just because it's my favorite team, but again, you have the
Mhm.
rubies inside the end of the feathers.
Yeah,
I think this is the first time I was looking back. This is the first time that the team truly implemented their logo or a
yeah,
part
yeah,
of their logo, because you have some. I think the Steelers kind of, and then this is the second Washington one, a little less, but it's still the Bears did theirs in '85, but there's no color to it.
yeah.
It's
It
just
just
two
has
diamonds, which is dope.
their logo with their the Chicago symbol.
Dallas kind of tried to do it. All the Steelers, they kind of implemented their logo, but it's just on the outside.
Hmm.
Can't really can't really tell what it is until you actually look at it. But Dallas tried to do it with theirs. They had the points of the stars with the two diamonds. Washington with with their third ring was the first, in my opinion, the first team to really truly implement a part of their logo, a distinguished part of their logo into the ring.
Yeah,
But again, Tampa Bay,
yeah,
if I was part of that team, I would demand a refund.
yeah. Like
I
that was
wouldn't even tell people I was a part of that team.
not even like, oh, you're gonna wear it because you're a Super Bowl champion. And that's that's the big thing is nobody's ever gonna say you're not a champion. But it's like this could be better. If I want to
Yeah.
nitpick, I'd be like, yo, like we could have
Right.
done because what was their? I want to see what their recent one looked like. I'm sure they look like that.
Put it back.
Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, the recent one is like, yo, like blang blang blang. It has
Right.
the logo in the middle, the two Super Bowl, and it has the player's name engraved on the side. Like
Yep.
that one was like, yo, we are the champions. I don't even have, I would just petty this. Huh? Look at it.
Right.
Look at it. That means look at it. We're Super Bowl. Like I know sometimes people get like, oh, it's too gaudy the rings, but like you're a Super Bowl champion.
Right.
Like, we won the Super Bowl. It could be as gaudy as possible. I want people to know when they look at my hand, yo, what is that? You a champion? Oh, damn.
Right.
Because that's what players don't care about the trophy itself. They care about the ring. Everybody, yo, the ring. The ring out the ring, because that's yours. Like the trophy, you may be able to hold for a little bit, or you may get like a replica, maybe. But that's for the owner and like the team. Like the ring is yours. Like, and I want to be able to show off like that. So like the difference between their first one and that one is like night and day. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
like this is like a different century, you know. But maybe they learn.
Absolutely.
Maybe they learn. Maybe the player was like, yeah, don't do that like you did last time with the 2002 team. Like, let's
Tom Brady was like, look, that was probably a stipulation in his free agency was like, look, if we win a ring, we're not doing that shit.
Because Robert Kraft was like, he was splurging on rings. Like, yo,
Oh
we're
yeah.
gonna have dope rings. We ain't having no ugliness. And they went out. And Tampa Bay with that, those are some big rings. Those are not, but those are nice ring. I like that ring a lot. It just shows like, yo, we're champions.
Yeah. But moving on, hitting. We talked about the two worst rings, relatively speaking, and I would consider the modern era. And then now we got to move on to the best Super Bowl rings. Now
Mm-hmm.
these ones, regardless, they're more so. When I looked at these, and the one thing I kind of thought about was like pawn value, as bad as it sounds,
Yeah,
which is why Tampa's first ring is so low on my list because you take that into a pawn shop, and a lot of players do pawn their Super Bowl
they
rings.
do. Yeah.
You look at that ring, like that's probably one of the lowest value Super Bowl rings you're getting.
Probably.
But without further ado, let's move on. Now, this is my third favorite Super Bowl ring.
Okay.
It is the Patriots' fifth Super Bowl ring. The 28 to this is one against Atlanta, 28-3.
I like that one too. I really do like that one.
I like the story behind it because you had, I forget, it was, I think, they put 283 diamonds in this ring to further meme the 28-3 comeback.
If you're a
against
Falcons fan, Delani, we're sorry, bro. I wonder what
Sorry,
your
man.
ring would look like, but yeah, I'm sure y'all would have had nice rings, Jelani. That would have been cool, but guess what? We'll never know. We'll never know.
At least not anytime soon.
Yeah, Arthur Blank probably had like the layout ready. He's like, all right, at halftime, like third quarter, he's like, oh, we're up 20. All right. So this is how we're gonna put this many rings. This is the first one. I'm sure Arthur Blank would have went in on his rings. They would have been dope because he cares about it, but we'll never know. I want to see those designs of the teams that like thought they were gonna win and like had it ready and now like and then don't have it. Like how like the kids from like Ethiopia have like 19-0 shirts.
Yep. Yo, when I found out about those, that's what they did. I had never thought about the fact that the shirts are pre-made.
They showed like they sent out like the other teams winning shirts to like third world countries and all that.
Yeah, and there's in somebody's reality, Tom Brady went 19-0.
Somebody's reality, Tom Brady didn't lose to the Giants twice. That he beat the Patriots, that he's 9-0 in Super Bowls,
Yep.
or 10-0 in Super Bowls, and the Patriots went undefeated, and the Falcons didn't blow a 28-3 lead. They think they won the game. that the Bills have won 4 straight Super Bowls.
4 straight Super Bowls.
There was no wide left, no wide right.
There's no undefeated Dolphins team.
Yeah. There's more than one undefeated team in the Super Bowl in Super Bowl history. There's a whole world that thinks the complete opposite of what's going on.
Oh. What a crazy reality. Next we got, and where the reason I put Tampa Bay's ring so far low is the same but opposite reason as to why I have the Baltimore Colts ring so high up on my list. This is not the Indianapolis Colts. This is the Baltimore Colts. This is one of the, I think, Super Bowl 3.
I think so, right? They won in 3, right? No, the Jets won 3. So this is like Super Bowl
5.
4 or 5, something like that.
5. Super Bowl 5. Yeah. The Baltimore Colts came up with something better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2003.
Shit, the Jets one's better than the Jets one's nice for a modern or old school ring.
Like the Colts one is even better than the undefeated Dolphins one.
Undefeated Dolphins one. Let me check.
Can you imagine had the Patriots won that Super Bowl against the Giants, what that 19-0 ring would have looked like?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that would have been like blang, 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 blang. Like that would have been crazy.
The only thing that I think this ring has,
I don't like the Dolphins one, not to get off the sub, but like the Dolphins second one, going back to back. I don't like that second one. I think it's very bland.
Yeah, very, very boring.
It looks weird and boring. Like the first one they won looks nice, but then the second one they're like, let's just dull it down as much as possible. But that's
I like this one because the
That one's
17
nice.
diamonds
Yeah.
is the 17 games that they won that season.
But then the second one is just like, like we don't care. Like we won
Yeah.
it. Then,
They didn't go undefeated, so it was like
like whatever.
whatever.
Let's just get a ring. This is whatever. But that Colts one is very nice for an old school ring. It's kind of it's the one they won recently, but the one with Peyton Manning. It's kind of like just like a upgraded version of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of simply just an upgraded, more obviously more diamonds. It's more modern day, but it's just an upgraded version. But I like the first one a lot though.
So do I.
Because it's simple, yet it shows out though. It's simple, yet it shows out. It tells you like, yo, we're champions.
And again, you just have to look at you automatically know what team it is. You don't have to read the words around it. You know what team.
Exactly. That's what I like. Like you want to be able to be like, oh, that's a Colts champion. Like you mentioned, I have to keep shitting on the Dolphins. Like you can't tell. Like you would have to be like, because people have rings like that, regular rings like that. You'd be like, oh, whatever.
Like even this Steelers ring, 1974, their first ring, it just one diamond.
It doesn't show you're a champion. Like you would have to look. Like I know, and that's what's weird because like you see like the Jets one, and like that one stands out. Like the Jets one's really nice for, for a championship ring. That shows like, oh, that person did something,
Yeah.
But like, yeah, some of the ones like that you just showed are like, But yeah, go back to your the nice rings, the ones you like.
And this is number one on my list. I think part of it is recency bias. It's the most recent one. LA Rams Super Bowl ring. As much as I despise the logo, they did really good with the sapphire inside the LA, the yellow gold diamonds to make the Rams. What they did with the palm trees, because again, it's LA.
Yeah,
that's SoCal culture. But the thing I love about this ring the most, and I couldn't find anything to really exhibit it, is this right here. When you open it, because right now the culture of championship rings is you open it up.
Yeah. That's the Warriors did that too. I think
Warriors started it, but this right here, not only do you open them. So the thing with the Warriors, I liked about the Warriors rings is that when you open it up, each person, when you turned it or opened it, you saw it had how many championships they've won. So like Steph, Draymond, and Clay, theirs all had 4. Obviously, Andrew Wiggins had the 1, but like it was something individual to each person. The fact they have the field inside of the Rams ring.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's dope.
That's dope.
They have the inside of the field almost down to actually it is the exact replica. Had the Bengals Rams, and then even the top is the giant scoreboard they have going around the stadium. I think it's dope.
Cool.
The colors complement, like again, the rubies, or the sapphire with the yellow gold and the palm trees. It's a beautiful ring. The inside of it is dope as hell. That is by far my favorite ring so far. And again, ultimately my favorite ring, only because I'm a fan of the team, is that last Washington Redskins ring that we saw earlier.
That one I liked, and I'm not even a Washington fan.
I wanted to put that one on the list, but then I'm trying to be unbiased.
No, but that's fine because even as like a non-fan, not a fan of your team, I like that one a lot. And if we're gonna talk bias, like I like both the Giants. I like the last Giants one a lot. The one they won. I don't know, that one really. I just really love that ring.
Right here.
And I like the one they won in 40 for 42. That one's nice, but the one they won, the last one, to me is really stands out. Like it has the logo, it has the blue in it, has the blue diamonds, got the 4 Super Bowl trophies. That one's like, yeah, like we mentioned, like okay, that's a champion. Like that to me is cool. I like that. And the Chiefs one too. I think I like the Chiefs one the most. That might be my favorite ring.
I like the red. The red and the gold on the outside really complement each other really well.
I think that's why. I think it's something about the color scheme. And obviously it shows the trophies. It shows the KC in front and all that. And like the Patriots one is like, yo, we got 6 of them things. Like
that's so
like it's over the top, but it's like, Yeah, we got 6 of them things. We
It
just want
still looks so good though.
it's big. I think when they showed it, because what I like about what they did is they do like videos on like NFL Network, like they're on like the YouTube, and they show them going to Robert Kraft's house and unveiling the rings and all that, and you see like Tom Brady and like them that one is so huge and all that, but it's like, yeah, you go over the top, bro. And like some people are like, oh, it gets too big. It's like, no, you're Super Bowl champ. Like I mentioned, you're a champion. Make them as big as possible. I want one around my neck. I want people to know, hey, I'm a champion.
Right. And these rings aren't meant to be worn. These aren't wedding rings. You're
Exactly.
not gonna wear these every single day.
Tom Brady walking around, unless he wants to flex on someone,
Right.
but like, they're not meant, especially the modern day rings. They're so big, you're not gonna wear them out like public like that. But they're like, that's special. Like, yeah, make them big, bro. That you're a champ. The Eagles one's nice too. That's
No,
nice
I don't like it. It's the Eagles. I don't like it.
Gross. It's the color scheme is gross, but I like you got the trophy and you got your team mascot logo and all that, and you got world champions. Like that one's probably simple, but yet it stands out.
Yeah.
Like, and then when you win multiple rings, you show all the ring. Like I don't know if the Patriots are ever going to win another Super Bowl, but like I wonder how the 7th one will look like if they add another one.
I like this one.
Nice,
the Broncos one is nice. They did a lot better on the orange compared to their first two.
I want to look at their first two. I'm really gonna get a look on their first two. Let's see. They won what, 99, 98, 97. Okay.
So this is their first one.
The Broncos, I feel like it's hard to see the Bronco in the in the second one. The first one I was standing there because it's one, but like you got the diamonds behind it, but the Bronco stands out. Where the second one, you kind of get lost with the Broncos because like the diamonds match like the hair of the Bronco. Yeah, the gold. So you kind of get lost in it. So I like the first one way better than the second one because it stands out the Bronco. But even the first one is kind of like they just slapped the logo. They just slapped their logo on there. Like it doesn't show like, and then like the champion is kind of like, I don't know. That might have to be on the bottom one, low key.
Yeah, the champion is the
it looks kind of like it's like
childish.
It looks childish. Like the champions looks like a weird like font you would put on like Canva. Like and like it doesn't really show. It just shows like the Bronco, but like you would have to be like, oh, what does that mean? Like it's just the Bronco. You just get a ring because you play for the Broncos. But like the second one shows like the second one. I like the way like the champions look. Like if they put world champions the way in the second one and the first one, it would look so much better. But like the way they have world champions on it, I don't like the font at all.
I will say I like that instead of the two trophies, they just put the two logos. It's different.
Yeah, I like that.
I do like that.
Stand out as much because the colors are too similar,
Right, I agree. And especially like we just talked about, how it compares to their most recent one, Super Bowl 50. Like you can tell that's an orange.
Yeah, you can tell. Like you see the recent one, like that the color scheme shows that's the Broncos. Like, and you're like, okay, that's. Yep. And I like how they did the two trophies next to the 5 and the 0, and then you got the third, the third Super Bowl trophy right in the middle of 50.
Right in the middle.
I like that a lot.
Yep.
That one's really nice. Yeah, 50-50's got to be up there. That one's a nice one. That's a nice Super Bowl ring. But yeah, I like the KC. I just like, maybe it's because of the color scheme. It just looks, that one looks beautiful.
I'll tell you what, though,
the Giants ones too. The last Giant one is to me is a really nice ring. It stands out.
The next Washington Commander Super Bowl ring, the amount of money Jeff Bezos is going to put out for it.
Bezos is going to have Amazon ads on it.
He's not even, apparently he hasn't even put in an offer yet.
Prime. Amazon
Prime ring.
Guys, we're gonna get Amazon Prime rings. We gotta sponsor, we gotta support the brand, and then we'll get your regular rings. But if Bezos buys the team, man, if you guys ever win a Super Bowl, you might have like outer space rings. Like you can only connect it, you can only go to like the moon with it, like and that's the only, and it like has a screen that pops. So Bezos wins. If Bezos owns you all, man. But you know how the owners are. The owners want to up the other owners. So whoever has what was the last ring? Los Angeles. So who's in the Super Bowl now? They got the Eagles and the Chiefs. You best believe they're gonna be like, we got to top that. We got to top that. So you know how owners are. They don't want to be like, oh man, look at cheap ass rings and all that. Like
Right.
kind of goes. Robert Kraft changed the whole game.
Oh yeah.
Just like we're spending mad money on rings. We're gonna get as big as possible these rings. It's like the last few Patriots one, the like 2 fingers, like you need, like it's crazy. Some of these rings, but hey, that you're a champion, man. I want that ring as big as possible. But these rings get a nicer and nicer, man. It's crazy. Like I watched a video of like how they go about it and all that. Like it's so detailed too, because it's such a obviously rings are not big, so you gotta engrave numbers and like players' names, and like some guys get special rings and all that. Tom Brady Super Bowl MVP, you got to do special engraving and all that. So like the process of it is pretty cool though. The process behind it, and like the evolution of rings, like we saw earlier, like they go from basic, and now it's like it makes the basic ones from the first couple of Super Bowls make it look like what the hell is that like. And then like I can imagine the next 10 years how they're gonna look, how it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, some of these rings, man, I like the LA one, like that one's cool because it symbolizes LA and all that. But it shows like that's the thing, just make it show like you're a champion, like even like the Seahawks one, it's basic, but you got the logo, band Super Bowl trophy behind it.
Yeah, real nice.
The Packers one's pretty cool, like the one they won last. They got the 4 corners of Super Bowl trophies, and then their logo right in the middle with all diamonds, and then like the green in the back of it. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and like the even the Steelers last one, they got the 6, like 3 on each side with the logo in the middle. Obviously, with the more Super Bowls you ring, you're winning 6+. Then it's. I wonder how it's gonna look when it's like 7. Whoever gets a 7. Like,
Yeah.
7 ring. Are you gonna put 7 ring? I wonder how that design is gonna look.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy how much rings evolve. We saw just in the last 57 years what they've evolved to. It's crazy what the next 57 years is gonna look like. But
Yeah.
Prez, I want to thank you for coming on, man. It was definitely fun. This is definitely a different Super Bowl topic. Again, we haven't really seen this be talked about that much. So again, I want to thank you for coming on. Super Bowl week has officially kicked off. We have shows. Off the Ball Network has shows every day this week.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, this man right here is going to be hosting best Super Bowl performances of all time.
Yep.
So go ahead if you want to kind of plug that real quick. Like, what are you really going to be looking at for these type of plays?
So I'm doing Super Bowl performances, and I'm going to give love to all 3 phases of a team: offense, defense, special team. Not just going to do offense and all that, which we probably see a lot, and some defense, but we never see love to special teams and all that. So I'm going to dive in and do maybe 3 each and just go over that for tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to. I'm going to work on that and see who I'm in, especially special teams. I got one I know in particular. I think most people know the one, but going to dive into and show some love to special teams and all. But yeah, dive into some of the best performances we've seen in Super Bowl history.
Tuesday we got Jelani and Thad, best Super Bowl what ifs.
That's
plays that were great in the moment that get lost because either something else eclipsed them or they ended up not being part of a winning team. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a great topic. I'm excited for.
I can't wait for that one because there's so many plays like just recently that were like, man, if that was the play, that would have been like the moment. That would have been like, yeah, that's a greatest play ever or one of the greatest plays. But like you said, there's things that supplanted it after that. Then we tend to forget some of those plays. But that one I'm really looking forward to watching.
Same. Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. I will be back on here, top 5 halftime shows and top storylines leading into any of the past 56 Super Bowls. Thursday, the resident Canadian, Kenneth, is going to be on here giving our loser episode, best performances in a losing effort, amongst a couple other things. Friday, what do we have for Friday?
What do we have for Friday? I think
I think Mo's doing
Mo is
Friday.
doing the best teams to never make it to the Super Bowl.
Mo's doing best teams to never make it to a Super Bowl. Saturday will be a
No,
CU
the
Sun.
best to make it, but to never win a Super Bowl. So players, so like players who have gotten there, but were not able to win a Super Bowl. So this applies to just guys who have made it, the best players ever to make it, but not win a Super Bowl, not win the Super Bowl.
And then Saturday is going to be a typical CU Sunday format, previewing the game, giving our predictions, and then Sunday morning, leading up to the Super Bowl, quick free for all roundtable talk about the game right before it, and hopefully you guys tune in for all of it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, Prez, thank you so much for coming on. Go check out Off the Ball Network, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, FNC Pod on Facebook and FNC Pod on Twitter, Football and Show Podcast, Facebook and Instagram, as well as TikTok. Prez, go ahead and plug what you have going on this week. Anything other than the Super Bowl content?
No, man, just gonna dive into Super Bowl stuff, and you can follow me Off the Ball Pod. And for any basketball stuff that I have lined up, and I don't have anything yet in store, but I'm sure I'll figure out something as the day goes. But just follow me there for any updates. But just make sure to go to OTB_network on Twitter. Check out any updates we have for upcoming shows. OffTheNetwork.com, the YouTube. Give us a sub, a thumbs up, and all that, and just stay in tune for the rest of the week of Super Bowl coverage.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.